Hello students, this is serial number 4 video of chapter relations. Here we are going to discuss about symmetric relation. Basically, what is a symmetric relation? Everyone must have studied about congruence of triangles and similarity of triangles, parallel lines, similarity of any two figures, then similarity of equilateral triangles and all. Now, if I say that triangle, this we have discussed in the earlier first video of relations while introducing also. If I take an example of a set of parallel lines, suppose there is a set Y which comprises of all parallel lines. I take any three lines L, M and N. Suppose these three are these lines, line L, line like this, L, M, N. These are parallel lines. Okay. Now, if I say that line L is parallel to line L, it is 100% true. So, I will say that this parallelism relation is reflexive. It reflects what the element is. If I say that line L is parallel to line M, this implies line M is also parallel to line L. So this, going back again to the original element, okay, this is the original element, is called as symmetric relation. That is symmetrically they mean the same. If I say that triangle ABC is congruent, triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR. So if I write like this, triangle PQR will be congruent to triangle ABC. That means if XY is there, then YX must also be there. So in the same way, in this particular reference, if we see, easily we can have an example. Say for example, there is a set B which comprises of 2, 5, 8 relation. Suppose there are different relations Ri's, as we have defined in the earlier video for a reflexive relation Ri's. Different Ri's on relation are the relations on set A. It's not a relation, it is B, the relations on set A, like this. So like this we have defined. Symbolically I did not write. I have actually written R1, R2, R3 different Ri's. Now these Ri's are the relations on set B. It means that all these Ri's are subset of what? B cross B. That means R1 is subset of B cross B. R2 is subset of B cross B. This I can be ranging up till what? What is the maximum? I mean, what will be the largest relation defined on set B? It will be the B cross B itself, which is the universal relation. And smallest relation, what will be the smallest relation? It can be an empty relation, isn't it? It can be an empty relation. No element of the set B is related to any of the element. So, you can have a formula based on that. I leave that formula up to you. Later on, we'll find it out. But now, for the time being, I have taken up, among all those relations defined on set B, I have taken up a few relations. Now, out of these relations, we have to find out which are symmetric and which are not. Okay. So, what is the definition of symmetric relation? It says that if X, Y belongs to relation R, then Y, X must belong to relation R. This is very, very important for symmetricity. It says that if at all a type of ordered pair comprising of x comma y is present in relation R, then yx is expected to be present in relation R. If x comma y, such type of elements are not at all there only, they are not there in the relation R. Or you can, what I mean to say that if R, suppose it is an empty set only, then by default it becomes symmetric. By default it becomes a symmetric relation. I repeat, by default this relation R becomes symmetric. Okay, because otherwise what happens if a relation R consists of, suppose there is a relation R defined on set B. Set B is comprising of 2, 5, 8, and we have taken suppose R6 only. This I can take it as R7. Empty relation is also a relation defined on set B, but it is what? It is symmetric. R6, suppose I write like this, 5, 8. Okay. Then is it symmetric relation? Never. It is not a symmetric relation because this R6 contains only one ordered pair, 5, 8. That too, it's reverse ordered. It is converse. That 8, 5 is not present. Hence, this is not symmetric. It is not symmetric. I have to cross it. It is not symmetric. Whether this is symmetric? Yes, it is symmetric. I'll put it in green pen. R1, 2, 5 is present, 5, 8 is present, 8, 5 is present. When 5, 8 is present, 8, 5 is present, symmetric. But for 2, 5, whether 5, 2 is present? Yes. Then 2, 2. For 2, 2, then again 2, 2, and they reflect each other. So if I write 2, 2 once again, it means that writing only once. Because in set notation, we write elements. We do not write elements in repeating form. We write only once. If I want to write, suppose I want to write set of all elements of this or set of all letters of this word apple, then I'll write P only once. I'll not repeat now. So these ordered pairs are also such alphabets, such elements in a set. They are elements of the set R1. So 2, 2, there is no meaning of writing 2, 2 once again, 2, 2. So it is understood that this is illustrating as a symmetric example also and reflection also. So the entire relation R1 is symmetric. Yes, it is approved for symmetricity. Then second, R2, straight away it shows that it is a symmetric relation, although it may or may not contain other ordered pairs. We are least bothered. But once it contains a type of element x, y, and which implies presence of y, x, then definitely the forward and reverse ordered pairs are present. 2, 8 implies 8, 2 to be present in R2, hence it is symmetric. Straight away it is symmetric. Now what about R3? 8, 8 is present, 5, 5 is present. Whether it is symmetric? Sure, 100% it is symmetric, because again the same discussion, 8, 8 can be written as once again 8, 8. They reflect each other, so symmetricity is also defined. 5 symmetric to 5, so again symmetricity is related, excellent. It's properly defined. Then definitely R3 is symmetric. We will see that one more relation, empty relation, is always symmetric. Empty relation is always symmetric. Here we have so R7 and R4 are equal, right? It is equal to R7, which we have discussed in the below part of the page. By default it becomes symmetric. Every empty relation is a symmetric relation. Now what is a R5? R5, 2, 2, 5, 5, 8, it is reflexive relation. So every reflexive relation this type, which does not contain any other ordered pair, which contains only the doublets, or we can say that every identity relation is symmetric. So it is basically an identity relation, isn't it? It is an identity relation. And it is becoming what? Symmetric. Every identity relation is symmetric. What about R6, 2, 2, 5, 5, 8, 8, 5, 8? Straight away, it is not the reflexive symmetric relation because 5, 8 is present, but 8, 5 is not present. Also, so this is a best example. It is an illustration for which you can say that every reflexive relation need not be symmetric because this is a reflexive relation. I will write this. This is a reflexive. It is reflexive, but not symmetric. It is the best example. R6 is the best example to illustrate that a particular relation defined on a particular set is reflexive but not at all symmetric, because the condition for symmetricity is not, it is disqualified because of 5, 8, 8, 5, if you write 8, 5 and extend this bracket over here and close it, then definitely it will become symmetric. I hope you understood the definition of a symmetric relation. So with the help of different examples and illustrations, more and more problems and solving the different types of what do you call it as the counter illustrations, we will be able to understand how to differentiate between a reflexive relation, a symmetric relation. Now in the next video I'll discuss the transitive relation. Children, please do pay attention. Properly you look into the videos and then you will understand how to differentiate between a symmetric relation and a non-symmetric relation, and what are its important consequences and what are important remarks. Okay, so I'll go for transitive relation in the next video. Okay.